Okay, chapter 9, we talk about interest rate risk. The interest rate risk is very important in risk management. So basically, the banks, the finance using debt or long-term loans, all those financing will pay interest rate. Okay, so typically we assume that the longer the term, the higher the interest rate. So interest rate typically is more risky when you think about the long-term loan. In international market, so we usually use a LIBOR rate so as a risk-free rate. So what is a LIBOR rate? A LIBOR, do you remember, is a London interbank offering rate. Okay, so the rate is short term. Typically, maturity less than 1 year for interbank transaction, where the borrower has a AA level rating or above. So this is we consider that LIBOR rate as international risk-free rate. Do you still remember what is the proxy for risk-free rate in the United States? We use 3 months Treasury bill rate. Okay. In the United States, the 3 months Treasury bill rate is a risk-free rate. Okay. So typically, the Fed rate is going to be some rate a little bit higher than the LIBOR rate. This is the Fed typically they add around like a 50 base point. Okay, 50 base point. Okay, so I'm not sure you read news or not. So what is the current interest rate in the United States? The Fed rate, the Fed. Do you know the Fed rate right now? Okay, that's why the reason you need to read a Wall Street Journal. Do you remember anyone can speak here? The Fed rate is adjusted to, okay. Fed rate is 0. Okay. Yeah. Last week, remember the Fed, they make an announcement. They lower the Fed rate to 0. So the Federal Reserve, and they make an announcement that the rate is 0. Okay. So it's very important to see the real risk-free rate. So all the other financial assets, when you borrow and you pay interest rate, is going to be they add a risk premium. It's not going to be the risk-free rate. It's going to be some risk premium added to that risk-free rate. Okay, so typically we see the LIBOR and the swap rate, and to see what is the trend, okay, towards using the overnight index swap rate. So the overnight index swap rate as a proxy for the risk-free rate instead of LIBOR and the swap rate. So you can see the 3 months LIBOR OS spread. So when the spread is increasing, so that means the financial crisis, the financial crisis period. So you can see that January 2007 until 2009, this period we call financial crisis period. Another is called repo rate. The repo rate is financial institution, they have security and agrees to sell them today for a certain price, and they will buy them back in the future, okay, with a slightly higher price. So you can see there is going to be a spread between the selling price and the buying price. Okay, that's difference is called a repo rate. Okay, this is also a good indicator for the financial market condition. So typically, the higher the repo rate, the higher the risk on the market. Okay, today we're gonna focus on your discussing question, which is duration. Okay, so we call this one is the duration. So what is that duration? The duration, so it is a measure of, okay, let's see, is how many, is how long you could pay off the real cost of purchasing a bond. Okay, how long you could pay off the real cost of purchasing a bond. Okay, that's the duration. So the some of the, most of the bond, they have a okay, you have maturity, that's a 5 or 10 years maturity. Okay, but during that particular period, remember, so you have maturity, but you receive interest or the coupon. Every 6 months, you will receive a coupon, right? So you invest, your investment or initial investment is the bond price, but however, you still have interest after your investment. So until you hold to maturity. So your money keep going back to you. So that means how long you could pay off the real cost of the purchasing price, or how long you get your money back, similar to what we call payback period, or later on when we talk about the capital budgeting. Okay, so this is a duration of a bond that provides cash flow at time t is in the following formula. Okay, what is B is the price, and the Y is the yield to its maturity. So remember, when the interest rate, the yield increases, the bond price will go down. Okay, that's why. So you can see the percentage change in bond price is a negative duration times the percentage change in yield. So the yield increase and the bond price go down. Or we can see the yield and the bond price has a negative relation. Okay, a negative relation. Okay, let's work on this. So let's see, we have an example we used in the textbook. So we have this different time. Okay, and so we create this. So let's we do open an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, this is your time. Okay, Now you can open that Excel spreadsheet. So you have cash flows. Okay, cash flows, that's the coupon and the par value. Okay. So you receive coupon. And so we have, let me go back to check what is the, okay, this is a 3-year coupon. Paid in a coupon rate is 5% semi-annually. Okay, the coupon semi-annually, the bond yield is 12%. Okay, bond yield is 12%. Okay, so let's see, we put something right here. Yield is 10%. And this is the par value is 100. Coupon isn't, I think it is, oh, let me go back to check the coupon. Okay, the bond yield, the coupon is 10%, the bond yield is 12%. The yield is 12%. Okay, so this is 3-year coupon, and the pay frequency is 2. So this is a semi-annually, so it's going to be 2. Okay, so we can see, and this is semi-annual coupon. The end of the year is 105. It's you'll receive your par value at the end of the period or at maturity. Okay, so what will be the present value of the cash flow? Okay, the present value of the cash flow. So you discount this one to the present. Okay, it's going to be the cash flow times exponential. Remember, so we use a continuous compounding. Okay, continuous compounding and minus the time t times the yield. Okay, the yield is, remember, so we have this one yield divided by 2. It is the semi-annual coupon, right? Okay, now we go back and see, okay, this is the present value. Okay, 4.7. Okay, so if you do the present value divided by 1 plus, okay, the yield divided by 2 and raised to the power of the time t. Okay, this is a not continuous compounding, so it is semi-annual compounding. Let me see this one, 12% annual rate. Okay, yeah, we need to use, they already discount this time is half a year. So we're using the yield 12%. It is already divided by 2 here in the time. So if they don't have this coupon rate, 12% divided by 2, so that's the coupon rate, yield divided by 2 and raised to the power of the time. Okay. I think this is gonna be parentheses 2 times. Okay. So this is the we use a semi-annual component. Okay. This line is using continuous component. This is uses semi-annual component. And you can see the formula here. Okay, in order for you to understand, so I will say, I will show the formula. Okay, now you apply that formula all the way down. Okay, so we delete this because we're using continuous component, not semi-annual component. Okay, so what is the bond price? Remember the bond price, okay, is the sum of this present value. It is the sum of all those present values. That's the bond price.
How'd you get the 105?
105 is $5 and plus the par value, 100. Yeah, at maturity, so we have the par value added to it. Okay, now you sum them up. Okay, so this is the bond price. So the bond price is 119 and 1.1. Okay, so I will go and to show you the textbook. Okay, this here. Oh, I need to, I think I need to fix something. Okay, it's we need to put $. So this is B2, $5, A2. Yeah, A2 is A2. Okay, this one we need to fix it. Okay, put $. At 4. Okay. Fix this. Okay, $, and apply to it. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's the bond price. So the bond price is the sum of all those present value. Okay, the sum of that present value. So when you go back to check the formula, so you can see, okay, this is the formula. Okay, I will paste it right here. Okay, is the sum of this cash flows and raised to times exponential raised to the power of negative y times t and divided by the present value. Okay, what is this one? Is this is going to be the weight? So we call this the weight of time. Okay, so we call this one is a weight. Okay, how you get to the weight? The weight is equal to the present value divided by the price, the bond price. The B is bond price. Okay, so we need to fix that, the bond price, put $sign. Okay, and click on enter. So that's the weight. And then you're using the time, okay, which is time times the weight. Okay, that's gonna be, you sum them up, that's gonna be your duration, okay? So using the weight times your time, all the way down. Okay, this is gonna be your duration. Okay, duration is the sum of all this. Okay, 2.65. Okay, that's a 2.65. Okay, that's your duration. Okay, so 2.65 is your duration. That's the one you calculate. So what is that means? Can you interpret what that means? Okay, this is how you're gonna interpret the duration. Okay, the duration is that it takes 2.65 years to recover the real cost, the true cost of the bond. Okay, the cost of your bond is the price. Okay, this price you have is, this is the cost of bond. So you pay $94.21. Okay, so you receive $5 every 6 months and $105, okay, at maturity, okay, the year 3. So the true cost you get, it takes about 2.65 years to recover the true cost of the bond. So the duration will be less than the maturity. The maturity is 3 years. Okay, any questions? Okay, this one is called Macaulay duration. So you have a word is because this is called Macaulay duration. And also we have a modified, okay, modified duration. And there is another one is called modified. Okay, modified duration. So the modified duration, okay, let's see what is modified duration. Okay, this is a modified duration. The modified duration is the Macaulay duration divided by 1 plus the yield to maturity divided by number of coupon periods per year. The number of coupon period per year. So this is the frequency, basically. Okay, sometimes 1 year and 2, right? Okay, so this is going to be modified duration is going to be the Macaulay duration you calculate, okay, divided by 1 plus the yield to maturity divided by the number of coupon period per year is 2. And so you have a semi-annual coupon. Okay, that's your modified duration. So modified duration is 2.5. Okay, any questions? Okay. So that's the expression of the modified duration. So is the duration divided by 1 plus the yield divided by the frequency. Okay, this is referred to a modified duration. Okay, next one we talk about is the convexity. So the convexity of a bond is defined as, okay, this is the convexity. You can see how it looks like. So we can put this formula right here in the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so you see the duration, it typically is a curve. When you see that, it's going to be a curve. That's how the duration looks like. Okay, it's a convexity curve. So as a convexity is to measure when you have the changes in the interest rate. Okay, duration you can measure that when the interest rate only has a very small change. Okay, it's going to be more accurate. But if the interest rate, the change, a big change, so it's not going to be accurate, the price changes. So in this way, we need to have the convexity, okay, taking second derivative. I'll say, okay, based on this formula, we can see, okay, so you need to times the interest with times a square. Okay, this is the time squared. Okay, and then you times the weight. So you can see that is the time squared and times the cash flow, the discounted cash flow, right? And the bond price. Okay, so we sum them up. Okay, let's see, we equal to the time squared and then your times the weight of the present value of the cash flow, right? The present value of the cash flow. And then you will sum them up. Okay, this is the present value of the cash flow. And then we sum them up. We sum all the, this is the, you can see this part is going to be the numerator. The numerator part, okay. Okay, so then you calculate the convexity. Convexity is equal to the sum divided by the bond price. Okay, the sum value, this is your convexity. Um, okay, I will save this file on Blackboard so you can go back to check that. And so also I will upload this lecture on YouTube. So provide the link on Blackboard. So when later on you get a chance, you wanted to go back to check that. So it will be available. And in the future, if you're absent, we have this lecture, the lectures available for those students who got absent. So you can still have a chat time. But remember, so after you watch the video, you need to write 100 words about what you learned from the lecture if you got absent. Okay. Any questions?
Where do we write the 100 words at?
Oh, if you attend the meeting, so for example, today, you don't have to. But if later you cannot come to the lecture, you need to write and submit. So I will create like assignments saying you need to submit.
Okay, so it's only if you miss the live.
Yeah, if you miss this lecture, you only if you cannot attend the lecture on this time. So, but the chance is still there. So you need to watch it and to write what you learn from
Okay, thank you.
lectures. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Let's see. We just stop here so we can